Yeah, now we hot. All right. It's the RoundHouse RoundTable. What's up? We got a special guest in the building. Very special guest, close friend of mine, Trevor McKenzie, also known as Jersey, my undefeated homie. All right.
This guy.
And as you know, we got Hot Take Rod in the building. And we're gonna talk that talk today. We're gonna get into it. So that's the RoundHouse RoundTable. Let's get it.
I swear my glow up in lightning. Hot year, something like lightning. This shit a hit on my psychic. She want me lick, I'm excited. See, I feel that's my business, and that's why I'm business minded. Need a push, get behind it. It's science, apply it. Worst come to worst, you tried it. Get it bad, get inspired. Shoot your shot, just the effort. I admire. You're hired, ain't looking for friends at this point. My circle is small as a point. Yeah, I'd rather send an invoice than hearing the fake on their voice. It sound like a business report. Don't fuck with the business.
One part of the RoundHouse RoundTable, me, Armani T, and I got my homie, my brother.
It's the ROD. Let's get it, man. Let's
talk about it.
Say please. That's one, please. Don't need no one, that's two, please. Don't
All right. So first, what we like to do is we like to start with our no cap recap. And that's just going to be for UFC 268. Yeah, you know that shit hard. You know that's hard. The no cap recap. Because I feel like in a lot of these other recaps, different podcasts, even in the after shows, like it be a lot of bias in it and what people wanted to see. So they feel like they kind of inch towards it as they talk, even though it didn't happen. Like talking about when it comes to like them getting finishes or almost getting finishes and having somebody on their, pretty much how they like discredit Leon Edwards in his last fight with Nate Diaz. You know what I mean? Like pretty much put a masterclass on for 5 rounds and then last 30 seconds of the 5th round.
Whoa. What masterclass did he put on?
Leon Edwards?
Did we watch the same fight?
Yeah, we did, but he was definitely piecing up. He was definitely piecing up Nate Diaz.
I don't know.
With ease.
For you to go the distance with Nate and then almost get knocked out by him in the 5th round. Like I'm not sure how easy that was, but I'll let you have that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're gonna talk about it. So the no cap recap for the UFC 268. We're gonna start with some of the prelims. We don't gotta hit every prelim. But early prelims, anything that stood out to you, CJ Vergara versus Ode Osborne. Ode Osborne came out with the W, unanimous. I don't know about unanimous, but I think the judges was being kind of like, all right, it's either this or it's that last night. So what y'all think about the CJ Vergara, the new kid on the block?
I didn't expect the prelims to be lit.
It was fire. It was looking like an ESPN Plus night. That's what it was looking like. Because I got this thing where I would be swearing like the ESPN Plus nights going harder than the pay-per-views.
Sometimes they do.
Like they just be trying to throw names on the ESPN Plus nights, and the next thing you know, it's a fire matchup every fight, and then they try to force the pay-per-views like we want this person to fight this person. And then that's when you get them standing and looking at each other for 5 rounds.
I think everybody goes hard on the ESPN Plus cards so they can get that pay-per-view money next time those come around.
Facts. Big facts. For the CJ Vergara, I think he did his thing. He was kind of stagnant in the first 2. He put it in for the last round. Ode Osborne was just staying long and doing what he had to do until, like I said, in the 3rd, CJ Vergara finally found his range and his timing with him and just start piecing him. And at that time, it was just too late. Good fight. Just off top, it was a good fight. What you think, bro?
But I don't know. I'm looking at the numbers and I'm just trying to figure out where they got a unanimous from.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was kind of confused by the unanimous. So, but the judges, like off that fight, that's why I was just like, okay, I guess the judges is going like they not.
That's a warm up. That's a prelim for the judges too.
They was like it's either this or that.
They just pulled up. They still sipping on their coffee and shit. So,
real shit.
You know. Warm up.
Shout out to Ode Osborne.
Yeah.
He got the W. got it done. Next, then we got Melsik Bagdasaryan versus Bruno Souza.
That was cool.
That karate style was irritating me. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like when you got like that type of style, that karate style, it's almost like you kind of see everything that's coming. Like, except for the kicks. The kicks, you see those less.
That in and out karate style.
Even with the takedowns, was in and out. Bagdasaryan just stood there because like he like a striker, but he was trying to take his head off with every strike, and I thought he was gonna fatigue it so fast, but he just pieced them up the whole time. Souza just had a chin on him. That was the only thing. Unanimous decision. I understand that. Melsik put it on him. I feel like certain guys like Melsik and like Islam and like Chimaev, they still leveling out to their competition level in the UFC. I feel like Melsik is not really there. They're not really matching him up with people that's at his level because they probably feel like he's not there yet. That's why I feel like he's
trying to build him. They might be trying to build him up.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I don't really see them building up the foreign guys as much as they do the American guys. Or
like, I'm looking up his highlights right now, and if this dude can start putting people away, he's basically a highlight machine the way I see it, right? So
yes, he is.
Like, yeah, like you know that shit. Like he's highlight machine, right? Armenian dude. That's a whole population that they could rally behind somebody. So they're probably not building him up like they would say Pereira. That guy, I think they're gonna throw him a couple tomato cans, honestly. If he keeps putting people out the way he's about to keep putting people out, because I know what they really want is for him to fight Izzy, because he's the last dude to knock him out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But I don't know if I feel like it's going to be people that's going to try to jump in front of that. You know, like he's going to try to get cans, but it's going to be people like, nah, I want him, calling him out.
If they're smart, they'll do it now before he gets real good at takedown defense.
Man, what?
Man, who's calling him out right now?
Nobody yet. Because that was the first fight. That was the first fight.
No, but what I'm saying is after that, who's calling him out?
I don't know. Somebody is gonna be somebody that nobody really knows that's gonna call him out.
I feel like you're gonna get that Islam type treatment. Like everybody gonna try to steer clear of him.
Me too.
Maybe
with
they're smart.
The whole knocking Izzy out thing, and then what you just did just now, like it's gonna be hard for guys to be like, yeah, I want to fight that guy.
Yeah, he did that. He did that to a black belt.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know if people really think about that, but he did that to a black belt.
Exactly.
That's the wild shit.
Bro, and like low key, if you watch the fight back, like if you find the time, he spent the whole first round setting up that flying kick. Like all those kicks he was throwing at him. Mm-hmm. If you go back and watch it, Buddy was checking with his left kick, right? And when he caught him, it was a switch. So he came up with the right first. Mm-hmm. Dude threw, he tried to check, left knee came up, put Buddy in the shadow realm. It was over for him.
Yep.
Like
for sure. The switch was that small little piece that he needed, like that experience that I was talking about, like I was saying, like all those fights, all those years of experience, all those years of striking, and he put Izzy out at that time. So you can only imagine the level of striking that he's at now. So like that's why like I was like, that's a dub about height. But at the same time, dude was smart to hold him. He was smart. He was holding off a dear fucking life.
Oh yeah.
But
he burned his whole gas tank.
Yeah, but I think that was off of like fear and survival. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't off of strategy and and maybe in prayer fucking strong as shit. Like
it looked like that was the game plan though. Like, don't give this guy no distance.
That had to be the game plan.
That was the game plan.
Yeah, bro. His strategy was survival.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Once he started feeling the pressure. But next on the list, since we went to fucking Pereira already, but that's how we do it on RoundHouse RoundTable. That's how we do it. We all over the place. But Justin Jacoby, John Allen, I think this was a good fight. Justin Jacoby just fought like recently. Like, I don't know if it was like a month or two ago, but for sure, definitely took this fight on short notice and came in and just stayed long. Like I don't think he mixed it up as much. He just was actually putting hands on John Allen more. Like John Allen finally started to get in his groove, like middle of the second. But that's when Justin Jacoby just kept applying strikes. He mixed it up with the head body, but not too many with the leg kicks and all that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It looked like he was just real smart. Like he wasn't coming at him super hard. He was just touching him, and he was doing a lot to control his hands. So yeah, buddy had no answers.
No answers at all. Like, especially like the thing about it was irritating because it was like not irritating, but it's like I would be irritated if I was John Allen, because it's just like my hands are coming just this far and you're like catching me every time just because of that reach. That reach is really a problem. It was really a problem in that fight.
Yeah, 100% it's the reach, but also like I got a couple coaches that they'll tell you keep your hands up, but you got to respect that keeping your hands up doesn't mean you're always defending yourself. If you got your hands up to the side and the guy punches you in the nose, doesn't matter. If you got your hands up in front of your face and guy hooks you in the temple, doesn't matter. And that's what was going going on. Yeah, so
real shit. Real
Have your hands
shit.
up, be smart about it.
Maybe John Allen's just better on the ground. That's just, he ain't want to take it there. I was like, it was a lot of guys that was just trying to get that knockout.
Oh yeah, bro. Imagine Madison Square. Just imagine the energy in Madison Square Garden.
What, man?
Yeah, post-pandemic, full crowd. You got real people out there yelling for you. You on pay-per-view.
And you said you like what? You an hour away? You an hour away from MSG too?
Yeah, bro. That would have been chaos though. That would have been dope, but it would have been chaos. I ain't trying to deal with all that.
Yeah, like hell nah. I feel that. Speaking of chaos, Chris Barnett.
Big nigga shouldn't be able to move like that.
Bro, yes. Exactly that, bro.
Belante. Round 2, TKO, wheel kick.
The athleticism. I should have known he was going to go crazy. He started Harlem shaking.
Ben Rothwell on 8 days' notice.
He gonna dance. He gonna dance on the Joe. Look at it. There he goes. Magic Boy can move, man.
Yeah, he can. I mean, he can break dance. He can dance. You know, he actually has a back.
I think I used to watch his fights, and then it was not inside of an octagon. So this man has been fighting for a long time. He like pretty much, it seemed like he cut from that just got that fighter energy like all the way around. We can't disregard him pulling up with the angry girl ponytail. Like all girls with that ponytail, you know they fight. Like they like to fight. But he would have to figure something out with that shit. He pulled up with the wheel kick. I don't know. Belante looked like he woke up like this, like when he walked out to like he looked like somebody woke him up from a nap and then woke him up off the couch and like, hey, time to walk out. Like, he's like, all right. For his retirement fight though, like I don't know. He looked like he already retired before that and then came back. Yeah. But
that was his last fight.
Yeah.
Oh man, that hurts. That
hurts. Don't it? But the beautiful thing about it was Chris Barnett gave him that moment at the end of it. Like he made sure MSG gave him a standing ovation. Like he was telling him stand on their feet, clap for this man, like all the blood that he put into the octagon. Like, and that's real. Yeah. Like that's you gotta like you can't not respect that. You know, like because I can't imagine like like stepping in an octagon, like that should take a lot of hours, a lot of blood, a lot of pain. So like
it's the weirdest shit. It's the weirdest shit. Like I'll be about ready to throw up right until the ref says go. And then it's all whatever.
Yeah,
bro, it's the weirdest shit. Like you walk out and then you're looking and there's people staring at you, you see your face, you're on a screen. At least for me, and I'll walk into the cage. They'll close the door, and I always hear when the pin drops, you hear like a little tink, and then it's just like, oh fuck, it's really just me, you, and a guy that says when the fight's over, and like it's the weirdest feeling, bro. It really is.
Damn, hearing the cage lock or the
yeah, bro. Just like the door closes, and then there's always that little like that T-shaped like pin that they drop in for the hole to keep the shit closed, and then it's just always just a little tink. And then it's just like you see the guy, and then he sees you, and it's just like, yeah, one of us has to go. Like, that shit is wild, bro.
Me or you, buddy.
Yeah, it's really like that. And it's just like, and everybody's gonna know about it. Everybody's gonna see this shit. It's gonna be on the internet forever. Like that shit is weird. But I couldn't imagine that, but in MSG. You know what I mean?
Bruh. But I think that's where it speaks to the mental aspect. You know what I mean? Like that, it speaks to like your mental fortitude, and like you said a long time ago, like your samurai spirit. My homie is such. Like, I'm gonna tell this story. My homie is such. Because I don't know if I introduced him right. Like he is a wrestling, jujitsu, judo fucking prodigy. Like I don't know if y'all. Nope. And he's super fucking humble, so he gonna do shit like that. So this man is super athletic, super gifted, and super intelligent. Because like the only way all of those mechanics work effectively and got him to the level that he's gotten to is because his mind is strong and he's super sharp, is super intelligent. So like that's people discredit athletes all the time and say they're because they're strong and because they can move fast. No, because they can activate their mind at the right time specifically to do these things. Like that's what a genius can do. When they're doing problems and solving problems, that's what a genius can do.
Bro, actually, I got a good way for you to explain this to people because you do music. I was having a conversation with one of my professors, right?
Shout out to the plug, though. Amani T. Like that, I'm going to talk about Real One Infinite. That's a brand of quality knit, quality fashion, quality wear. I appreciate it, bro.
There you go. And we were having a conversation. It was like a philosophy conversation, right? And of course, it's philosophers. So I'm in a room with a bunch of people who probably don't do push-ups. So like I'm getting looked at funny because I brought up the fact that I used to fight, right? But there was a couple of them that did music, and I was just like, "Yo, so you guys seen a live performance, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." So I'm just like, "All right, so say you got just a straight up band, like a jazz band going. You might have the percussion, you might have the horns, you might have the piano, right?" And they're just like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You might have little moments where the dude on the piano and the dude on the percussion, they'll go back and forth. They'll set a tempo and the other guy will match the tempo. And then one guy will have a solo, the other guy will have a solo. And basically they're having a musical conversation with each other, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, you realize that what they're doing is they're setting patterns, recognizing patterns, and then playing off of each other. Yeah. And I was just like, fighting is the exact same thing, except you're only getting the other person to collaborate with you so you can take their head off. That's it. It's just like music. Same shit, bro. Same shit. And people don't get it because they don't think that you're thinking. They just think you're out there swinging. And really, it's just like, yo, like I'm trying to figure out what this guy is doing in real time. He's trying to figure out what I'm doing in real time. We're both taking recordings of each other's actions. And then I'm trying to make this guy act in a way that allows me to do what I want to do. Just like music.
Bars.
Speaking of making somebody do what you want to do after a whole round of watching them, Jordan Williams versus Ian Gary. The Patty effect was live in action. I'm gonna call that the Patty effect, where you could come in on hype, get your ass beat the whole round, and find a finish, and talk your shit like the shit didn't happen. That's the Patty effect. Yep. So Ian Gary came out with the W, first round TKO, hit Jordan Williams with a clean one. And I had Jordan Williams winning this one, so he kind of fucked up my DraftKings a little bit. But Jordan Williams was looking strong and dominant all throughout the whole first until the last second. I don't know if it was like a kind of some type of like break in time. I don't know. I know the rep didn't stop it, but they kind of like disengaged for a second. And I know once they got back to it, it seemed like Jordan Williams was a little bit less calculated. And then that's when Ian Gary just capitalized on that and got the W, got the finish. I don't know who else he's going to do that to. So I don't know. I don't know who else is going to give him a free shot like that in the first round. Mm-hmm. If he said that was deep waters for him, then
he's in trouble. He's in trouble.
You better learn how to fucking swim. The welterweight, bro. the welterweight, he saw
Bro.
the top of the top welterweight the same night. So
The same
if that didn't make you leave early and go to the gym, I don't know what will. Like, but what y'all think? Ian Gary, Jordan Williams.
I mean, I was with the Jordan Williams train. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see Ian Gary doing that. I didn't like how he came out with the fake Connor anecdote with the takeover 2 type shit. Like, all right, bro, chill out. But other than that, I guess I'll see him on this next card. Like, it wasn't enough body of work for me.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't show anything. He didn't show anything.
Yeah. So
Jordan Williams showed an upgrade, but
yeah,
he got comfortable real fast.
He got caught and couldn't recover from it. So
No.
And you know and I think he could have recovered from that on some real shit. Like, because the ref did stop it. I don't remember seeing Jordan Williams hit the ground, or I think he kind of pushed him after a little bit. But at the same time, it's just like, I thought ref could have laid off for a few seconds, maybe. But at the same time, when the ref stop it and it's like that, all right.
Bro, I'm watching it. I just watched it back. He made a read. Jordan Williams, he runs forward with his chin out. So he was sliding off to his right and catching him with the counter right. That was the change he made. I don't think his boxing got better in the span of 4 minutes. You know what I mean? But there was a couple right straights that he kept tagging him with. And Jordan, instead of cutting him off like at a 45 degree, he kept walking forward. So as dude was sliding off, because it was a southpaw orthodox matchup, the backhand's always going to be the better hand. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he just walked into a right, and I don't know if he could have got it or not, but he definitely walked right into that right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like he positioned himself right there.
Yeah. Equal parts, good read, but bad offense on Jordan Williams. Yeah. At least. Well, I can't say bad offense, man, because like in the moment he probably thought he could have taken him out, because if he was catching him, he was catching him. You know what I mean? So yeah, just bad read on one part, good read on the other.
Ian Gary had enough time to step into it though, like, and put his hips into it. Like
that's what happens when you're sliding off to the right, bro. You plant your back foot, you got something to spring off. But yeah, I agree with you, Rod. Like, I want to see more from him before I'm sold. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like one round ain't gonna cut it.
1 round of damn near 5 minutes of you getting pieced up and getting your ass beat. Bro, because like, if that round bell would have rung, that would have been Jordan Williams' round. I was ready for the bell to ring and say that was Jordan Williams' round, but he did that shit at the last fucking second. Those shits hurt. Like, when you win the whole round and get knocked out at the end, that shit gotta fucking hurt. I'm saying Jordan Williams' boxing has improved from his last fight. I was saying in that 4 minutes, I was able to see that his boxing improved from his last fight. But at the same time, the mechanics are there, but the mindset of composure is not. Because like, the mindset of composure would have told him to fucking relax. Fucking 10 seconds left.
I mean, but if he's piecing him up the whole round, you know, psychologically, I'm thinking, if I'm whooping this dude's ass the whole round and I'm taking shots and I'm walking through him, then what is it that's gonna make me think that the last 10 seconds dude really gonna unleash a haymaker like that to put my shit out? I'm going for the kill at that point. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make a statement now, because mind you, I'm on a pay-per-view card. You know what I'm saying? This is how we get our name out there. So I'm trying to make a statement. Fuck laying off. I'm going for the kill.
I feel that.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. And that's why I don't fault him. Like, that's why I was like, bad read on one dude, good read on the other dude. You know what I mean? You got to press your advantage.
But he got to see that Ian Gary was showing him looks of danger. Like, he was throwing hot. I think he threw a few head kicks. He blocked him. He threw a few head kicks. Caught him with a few jabs. He was showing him signs of that he's possibly lethal. If this dude got all this hype behind him, just hold your composure.
Everybody's not like that, bro. You gotta like the confidence.
He was doing it for 4.5 minutes. That's what I'm saying. He was doing it perfectly for 4.5 minutes, and he was like, okay.
So my man had 4.5 minutes to get a little bit too comfortable.
That's what I'm saying. And that shit caught him. Like, I know that shit had to hurt. That was the early prelims. If y'all want to talk about the Shabazian fights,
No thanks.
Cause y'all keep putting all this hype behind Shabazian.
Nah,
like
Ed S was my man, bro, but he going out sad lately, bro. So
I feel like that's what you got. That's what you got. Like I would say management, because he jumped out there and tried to fight a lot of people he should not have fought, but he still took it. I think it was another podcast talking about like they should have set him up with easier matchups and stuff like that. I don't know why. I just don't feel that. I don't believe in that. Like if it's the UFC, like I understand you could take your route the way you want to take your route, and you could take it strategically. But taking a fight where you're gonna win, like, would you do that, Jersey? Would you, if it's a fight you're like, oh, I know I'm gonna do this, like that's the fight that I want because I know I'm gonna win this one? Would it be circumstances?
No, that question is kind of complicated. It kind of depends on you, and this is gonna sound weird, but like how you want people to see you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of like, part of why I got out of MMA is because I'm kind of old school. My thing is like, I want you to have a similar record to mine. I want you to have comparable skills to mine, and I don't expect to walk through you. Things happen to go my way, but I'm not looking for the dude that I'm going to walk through. You know what I mean? But like, if you look at boxing logic, a lot of dudes, the goal is to build up their name and build up their height. Now for Edmund, dude's actually a beast. He's been finishing people left and right, great striker, et cetera, et cetera. Not the biggest fan of his coach, but I'll keep that to myself. So they were probably thinking, all right, let's get this dude out there, young dude knocking people out. If they could give him the Connor treatment and he keeps starching people, then a year or two, he's in Izzy's spot, you know what I mean? Where like he just gets catapulted to a title shot. So it was a risk that he was probably just willing to take. But the thing is, like, in my mind, if you're that dude and you take that one L, all right, then maybe you should start finding people of a comparable skill to yours. Now the opposite of this is what's buddy with the rainbow hair?
Sugar Sean?
Yeah, Sugar Sean, bro. Like, that dude's been fighting bus drivers for the last like 2 years. Like, he's way too good to be doing that. Like, way too good to be doing that. But I get it.
Is he though? Is he?
Bro, hear me out.
Yes, he is.
Yes, thank you. His striking is that nice. His grappling is solid. His wrestling is amazing, but it doesn't have to be. Like, the fact is, he had that fight with Chito Vera. And
lost on a broken leg.
Yeah, lost on a broken leg, but I'm pretty sure that he was giving him work before that happened. So like that was a good fight.
It was pretty fair going on. Shout out to Chito Vera, just got his W.
Exactly. Yeah, Chito Vera is a savage. Mind you, for anybody that's about to hear this and try to come at me, 1, don't. 2, I'm a Chito fan.
You heard the first one.
Chito fan?
Don't.
Yeah. I'm a Chito fan. That was a good ass fight, and you see what level Cheeto's at, so you know where he's at, which means he should be fighting top 15, top 10 people, but instead they're giving him people that would probably deliver my pizza. So I'm not okay with that. I'm just not.
Chito Vera just fought Frankie Edgar, and I don't see him as delivering anybody's pizza. That's a legend,
bro. Hold up. I said O'Malley was fighting people who should be delivering.
Okay. I just want to
wait. I'll touch on that. Compared to where the two fighters are at their point in the career, maybe 10 years ago, Frankie Edgar wasn't delivering pizzas. He's delivering pizzas now, bro. I'm sorry to say, legend or not. He delivers pizzas.
No, he's not.
Wait,
he's not.
Wait, I gotta. As a Jersey native, I gotta come to his defense. I can't.
Yeah, legend, bro. I can't just. See, that's what I be saying. He be saying wild, reckless shit.
I can't let Frankie Edgar slander slide.
Right. Thank you. That's because I thought that's what you were saying at first. That's why I was like, nah, bro, Frankie Edgar, legend. I thought that you were saying that he delivered pizzas. That's why I was like, nah, like
no. I'm talking about the people O'Malley's been fighting. Like the last dude he fights, everybody gives that dude so much props. Mind you, that dude's tough. Like he's real tough.
Absolutely.
But I don't think you should block punches with your face. For every round. Like, I don't think you should get props for that. Like, it's tough. Yeah. Is it inspiring? Yeah. But the reality is, like, Rocky been taking L's. So, like, that's not a real smart way to go about it. Like, that's not a real defense. Like, fist on chin defense only works in Kung Fu flicks. Like, that ain't it.
Facts.
So,
with a script. Facts.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So,
fact.
You know, I'm gonna just leave it there. Like, Frankie, he has a, like, look at his strategy, right? Like, his strategy was dope. if he had the body he had 15 years ago when he was still fighting for some reason, that would have been a completely different fight with Vera. But his chin just can't handle that type of damage anymore.
Yeah.
And Vera just picked him apart in the third round because he's the younger, stronger guy. I mean, also look at the fact that Frankie was dope at 155. Right now, he was a shorter dude at 135. And the lighter
He
weight
looks
class,
super small though in that.
bro. Yeah, he's just not a big dude. And also, the older you are and the lighter your weight class, the harder it is to compete. Like you can be Fedor, be 45 and starch people at heavyweight. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to be almost 40 at 135 competing with like 32-year-olds.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think he's just kind of like I say this as a Frankie fan, like as a real Frankie fan, like as a wrestler from Jersey. I want nothing more than for that man to get his flowers and retire.
Exactly.
And then just like be the legend that coaches the next group of guys, because you can't not respect him, and I don't want to see him go out like that.
Like, bruh, no.
Yeah.
That's it's rough seeing that.
Yeah, bro.
But see, I put the blame on Dana because I'm like, why you put your man in there like that? So at some point, you got to save your fighters, bro. Like, if he's a legend, all right, cool, let him be a legend. But you already know, like, putting him up against a younger, hungry Chito Vera, like, you fed him to the wolves almost. Like,
would you want to retire off of Corey Sandhagen?
I don't want to retire from Cheeto's 5 toes in my chin. Like,
but if lesser two evils, I would think that Chito Vera would not have that. But Chito Vera definitely upgraded. He upgraded his shit,
bro. I can tell you why Dana did that. That was on purpose, for the same reason that he's trying to give Khamzat Chimaev to Nate Diaz.
Another pointless fight.
Kind of
straight up, like that's straight up name building. That's all that is. That's like the cutthroat side of fighting, where like you put the legend out, like you just put like he'll get paid a bunch for it, but his last moments in the cage will be against Khamzat, which is, you've seen what he's been doing to people. You know what I mean? And he's putting all the pressure in the world on Nate Diaz to have to take this fight, and that's a loss for Diaz. Like, say Diaz beats him, right? And that's his last fight in his contract, and he goes out, yeah, cool, you killed their star. But stylistically, it's a bad matchup for him. He's the smaller guy, you know what I mean? He's the younger guy. He doesn't have all that damage. And then if Khamzat wins, he stole that dude's whole wave, and he already has his own. So he's just trying to put him into it. Like, I think he wants him to fight Usman so bad, bro. But like that's one way to make that happen. Like, just steal all of Nate's star power, give it to Khamzat, cut Nate, let him ride off into the sunset with all his money, and then act like it's okay, like he's not a legend. That's all he's doing, bro.
I can see that. I definitely see that. For sure. Yeah. It kind of gives me like
broken down,
like a Vince McMahon type vibe. Like Vince McMahon will always, put the young up and coming fighter up against the legend that we all know he gonna walk out the fucking arena anyway. Yep. That's what it's giving me. So okay, I'm glad you put that perspective out there for sure.
Yeah, that's what that is, bro. Like, that's so cutthroat though. Like, that's doing him dirty, but I guess that's just the business part of it.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Glover. That's why I thought Dana was doing the Glover, but
bro,
Glover ain't having that shit. He ain't going. Glover ain't going.
Shout out
that backfired with Glover.
It definitely backfired.
Glover ain't going. That's what he said.
So
my man took a calculated risk, but he's bad at math. Like, that was
yeah, for sure.
Speaking of a calculated risk, bad at math.
Shout out Chris Curtis.
Chris Curtis came through with the W Cologne. Philip Hawes, man. Philip Hawes.
Bro, Philip Hawes is...
He had the potential of being that guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, Philip, bro, like, he's like the best fighter to not live up to how good he is in recent memory.
That's crazy.
I agree.
Yeah, and it sucks. Because he was putting on a fight of the night performance until he got slept.
Yeah.
Like, I was so impressed with him. I was just like, yo, like, hand control is dope, snappy on the jab, good cross, nice footwork, avoiding punches, and then a short left hook put dude in Astro World. And I was just like,
what's in a glass?
That's the thing, like, bro.
And Chris Curtis needed it. He needed that W.
I just kept hearing him say, I waited 10 years to be here, and I was just like, God damn, bro.
10 years to be on the prelims.
10 years to be on the.
You just had to play his life, didn't you?
10 years. 10 years. No, see, that's fucked up. Nah, because you gotta look at it, bro. Like,
yeah, edit that out.
See, and that's the shit.
A decade of that man's life killed in a sentence. Wow.
Prelims at Madison Square Garden in the UFC, the biggest mixed martial arts organization so far. Because
he's been on a win streak lately. This guy's been fighting everybody, bro. I respect this dude. He went through it the hard way.
We're talking Curtis, right?
Curtis.
Hey,
bro. How are you at your first fight in the UFC with 26 wins and 8 losses, bro? Like that's a lot of fights to just be in the UFC. You know what I mean? Like people are getting in the UFC with like 7-8 fights now. Pereira has what? I mean, he has his whole kickboxing record and all that.
Okay, Cyril gone.
Yeah.
Cyril gone.
Please don't get me started on him, bro. He's a savage.
Exactly, but at the same time, like I think he has it's like 9 fights now in the UFC.
Bro, Curtis is what happens when you got skills and no marketing behind you.
Facts.
Like none.
But he got the first round. Let's see what it's gonna bring him now. Like hopefully he'll get some action, like having the experience that he has.
At 34 though.
Hopefully they'll put him up there. Like I don't know. I would assume like he put out Phil Halls in the first like that. Like give my man a bone. Come on.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
But at the same time, if he was somebody else, of that bone would be thrown.
Please don't.
But hey, either way. So Bobby Green, a.k.a. Bobby Green came through with the W first round.
Bro, I'm gonna say this: the dude he fought last time, Rafael Fiziev. I used to train with that guy. Bobby Green, for putting up the performance he did against Raf, I was too impressed because like Bobby Green been fighting forever, right? Like you've seen his performances. Usually hands down, he's super slick, but like he was too slick. And I think a lot of people they look at him and they're just like, yo, his hands are down, blah, 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 head movement. Nah, it wasn't just his head movement. If you really go back and watch his fights, he controls distance and he dodges preemptively. So he'll throw something and he'll roll out or he'll slip out and he's there with the shoulders before you're throwing the punch. So he looks damn near psychic. And it was just nice. It was a short, I think it was a short like 1-2 going backwards or something. And Al just goes forward. So he was just walking right into all of that, bro. Like it was too clean. Like I knew from that fight he had with Raf, because Raf is a savage. Did you guys see that fight? His last one?
Yeah.
Bobby Green versus Fiziev? Bro.
Yeah. It was a slugfest.
Yeah, it was a slugfest, but it was just like the adjustments they were making was so crazy. Like it's hard to explain because they're both so they're just doing so much. But it's like if you're watching somebody do a freestyle and they were throwing words at them and they were adding words that people were throwing into the freestyle as they were going. It was like that level of striking. And it was wild. Like he made him look crazy because Al's tough. Yeah. He has great hands. Yes. I'd say okay footwork. Good for him because he's super aggressive. But he had no answer for Buddy slipping out and just tagging him on the way out. And you can't keep running into straight punches. You know what I mean? Yeah. Bro, super clean performance. I was so impressed.
I think I think this style just matched up better for Bobby Green than
100%
than the Fiziev fight because the way a.k.a. holds his hands, it's like in the way Bobby Green holds his hand, it's like you won't see any of Bobby Green's punches coming because like he's coming with his hands down, and a.k.a.'s all up high with it, so everything is just coming from down here as he moves his hands. So and I think that's what helped him get caught. Fiziev kind of capitalized on him having his hands down.
Bro, Fiziev will stand in front of you, make you miss, and then counter on your miss. And that's what made that fight so crazy, bro, because they would both stand in front of each other, slide back just enough, come back with the counter. Other dude was ready for the counter, so he slid back, came back with the counter. And I'm just watching this like, yo, what is this real life? Like, bro, it looked like some shit out of like you know when you used to watch DBZ as a kid and they're just throwing hella punches. It was like that to me. Like it wasn't making no sense. I was just like, is this in real time? Like it was crazy, bro. It was, and I wasn't ready for it because he had his hands up, but if all Buddy's punches are coming around his guard or through his guard because he can't see him in the first place, then it doesn't matter if your hands are up.
Good night, first round.
Yeah.
Good night in the first round. So next, speaking of good night in the first round or the second round, well, it was damn near good night in the first round. Alex Pereira, Andreas Michiles.
But the middleweight division is in trouble. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all take it for what y'all want. That division is in trouble.
Yeah,
and Izzy knows it. And then Izzy knows it, bro. Izzy knows it.
Yeah.
So
this is the first fight night or pay-per-view. We ain't hear fucking peep from Izzy.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I checked that Instagram story this morning, and normally Izzy got some witty, smart shit.
Just anything. Good fight. Just
radio
anything.
silence.
And not even talking about like the middleweight fight. Like I don't even think I saw anything like congrats Kamaru. Like probably because Kamaru was talking he was talking a slight inch of teensy wincy spiciness. Well, you can smell the spice from a mile away. But when he was talking about give us 100 mil.
Yeah, I told you, son. Remember, I told you a long time ago. You kept saying that they would never fight, and all of this money makes the whole conversation different, bro.
Yeah, but at the same time, what I did say is, I said, I don't think they will fight. They brothers, they're not gonna fight. But at the same time, if they do, if any exchange gets started or initiated or happens, Kamaru's gonna be the one to inch it that way. Izzy is gonna steer clear because he does not want that.
He does
not want that
pressure at all, bro. Yeah.
So middleweight division, I guess, is in trouble. I want to see more of Alex Pereira, but at the same time, they're gonna have to find his competition level fast because he's just gonna keep putting dudes out bad, and nobody's gonna want to see. You know, they're gonna put
in. Bro, people will show up for execution. People will show up for execution. If they want to give him the Sugar Sean treatment, bro, he'll just put people away until somebody wises up and gives him somebody in the top 10. But I think they should start like maybe one more fight outside the top 15, then give him somebody in the top 15. Because like who has his level of striking besides Izzy? Nobody. He just made a black belt look like a first day guy. Well, let me not disrespect his life like that. He didn't make him look like a first day guy, right? He did get taken down. But if you notice, like say like when Conor fought, right? When Conor got taken down, he jumped a guillotine, right? That's a striker panicking because of the ground, right? Pereira went for a Kimura, didn't try to finish the Kimura, just used the Kimura to stop the takedown, came back to his feet. Like and he's working with Glover. Like, I don't know if people give him enough props. Like his coach is the current champ. So if anybody's going to be comfortable getting smashed on the ground and then getting back up right now, it's going to be this guy. So clearly he has the smarts if he's going to go work with dude. And like I said, no one can fuck with his striking. So they're going to have to start giving him some, I say like 2 fights to the top 15, unless like no one believes in this dude for some reason, but you can't not believe in a dude who he flying knee somebody in the second round.
He could fight tomorrow though. That's the thing. Like,
bro, he could have fought again that night.
Yeah, that's the damage that he took.
Yeah, like he basically pulled the comms out the way I see it, except a little less dominant. But like he barely took any strikes, and then he just made somebody look stupid. Like you're saying, like he could fight again soon, like
very soon.
Real soon.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, you and me both, bro. Like that dude's hype train left the tracks. I want to see where he's at, bro. I want to see him. Who's a really dope grappler at middleweight? Like who was slept on for being like a pure grappler?
Pure grappler.
I would be like in the rankings with it.
Giving him a pure grappler is probably a nice way to send somebody to the hospital. Who's like a good?
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know about a Kevin Gastelum if that's the route that y'all want to take. Because I only see those type of fights any fight that I see for him is not in the under the top 15. It's all within the top 15. If I see anybody that could probably do anything with him. So it's just like, if you want to say fucking Chris Weidman, like he just coming back, leg getting strong. He talking about getting a fight. I know he got a wrestling base, but at the same time, that would be a look for him, for Pereira, because like I don't know if Chris Weidman would take it, but
I bought 2 tickets to the hype train. Ain't nobody touching this kid, bro. I watched his kickboxing highlights too. Like I took it back to his take. Like, dude is unbelievable, bro. He's really like, I thought Joe Rogan was laying it on thick with the whole this guy's power, but I mean, dude, he showed it. With a switch flying knee and literally put that man lights out. Like,
I like the
sign me up for the title fight.
I like how he used his hand just enough just to push it into his knee. Like, and it seemed like if you had the kickboxing gloves, that's probably how you would have to do it. It's kind of like just a little push.
Like hook it almost.
And to me, like that speaks to like repetition. That speaks to like experience. Like he placed that knee perfect. That switch was perfect. Like, to me, like that's
it was like textbook 100%. Like from the read, draw the check, use the switch kick, make the guy react to a kick that isn't a kick, bring up the other knee, pull the guard to the side, land the knee. And if that, bro, you know who really needs to be spoken to? That ref for making him do it again. He went out clean and he was just like, all right, bro. And the ref is just
he tried to walk off.
Finish him.
Nah, he was done. It was finished. But hey, shout out to Alex Pereira. Speaking of taking damage just unnecessarily, we got Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje. That shit irritated the fuck out of me. I'm gonna say this because like I feel like if Michael Chandler cut all that bullshit out and just swung his hands and hit Gaethje a few more times, he would have won the fight.
Bro, I'm torn because that was probably, in my opinion, that was fight of the year. I'm gonna just get that out the way.
Fight of the year. Oh yeah, no, let's not forget
fight
that.
Of the year. The reason why I don't say Michael Chandler should have just ran in, because if you notice when either of them caught each other, it was always something straight down the middle or straight up the middle. Like both of them were catching each other with uppercuts, and it was usually Chandler more so catching Gaethje with the straight punches. But the problem is, if he came in with something and he missed, Gaethje would catch him with a hook. Mm-hmm. And then if they were too far out, but they were both just banging on each other with leg kicks, so it kind of it creates this situation where the range where they can be comfortable at just didn't exist for these guys. Like say like for Pereira's fight, if the dude wasn't like on his chest, it was all him. Like there was just nothing dude could do about it. Like if he was at kick range, Pereira, punch range, Pereira, elbow range, Pereira. For Chandler Gaethje, maybe if they were so far out that Chandler could pop in real hard with a 2, then it was Chandler's game. Anything else, it was just like, feel free to get slept at your leisure. Like it was, bro, there was no safe spot for either of those guys anywhere in that fight. And the fact that either of them was still standing at the end of that is just crazy.
Fucking ridiculous.
Bro, like,
all I'm gonna say is them Bellator accomplishments only get you so far. That's 0-2 so far. So back of the line, you go, buddy. It was no, but shout out to them. It was like it was a war. I give it my opinion, but at the same time,
I mean, shit on the whole organization, and he was just like, yeah, he got it though. He got it. Bro, his whole path, whatever.
Gaethje's different, bro. Like,
bro, they put everybody in an action coma for the rest of the fight night because they could have made this put this before Billy Q, Shane Burgos. They could have
put it after. They put it after the title fights, bro. Like that's how fire this fight was, bro.
They should have had this a separate event by itself. Yeah, I bet you if they ever run it back, I bet you this is a pay-per-view event.
Yeah, low key, if they ran that back, like if it was just them at the top of the card, I don't think I'd care who else was there. Like I'd tune in for that fight.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Period.
Right. All right. You heard that, Dayton. Go ahead and start building that card around Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler, because on some real shit, if Michael Chandler went in there with an actual game plan of like, let's fight, I think he would have definitely beat Justin Gaethje easily.
Bro, he had a game plan. It wasn't
no game plan.
Bro, hear me out when I say this. because he has a similar game plan every time because he melts most people in the first round. Like, you've seen it. You saw what he did to Hooker. You saw what he did to Oliveira. He comes out, he throws that too, and most people just die. Just plain dead. Like, it's a wrap for him, right? But the problem is Gaethje didn't. And like, if you notice, if you really, really pay attention, Chandler was coming out heavy with the leg kicks from the beginning. So he was trying to do what Gaethje does to everybody else to Gaethje, and that slowed him down a bit. So Gaethje didn't have the power that he needed. And I'm guessing Chandler thought that if he caught him with enough twos and caught him with enough leg kicks, that at some point Gaethje would slow down, and he just didn't. I think Gaethje just really doesn't give a fuck how hurt he is
at all.
Bro, like, that has to be it, bro. Like, he just walking.
Yeah. And they were both making technical adjustments the whole time too. Because if you notice, Chandler was bouncing in and out in the beginning. His leg went out. He couldn't do that anymore. So minus the mobility, he had to walk in front of him. And that's what Gaethje wants, because then he can bomb on you. So Chandler shifted to just big right hands and uppercuts up the middle. And then so Gaethje had to go around with the hooks and then also try to throw uppercuts up the middle, because Chandler always ducks his head. Like, that's his defense. Throw a punch, duck your head. Throw a punch, duck your head. And that's what got him caught when he got sat down. It was an uppercut. Bro, actually,
I think that was
later, because Kamaru has the same problem. What were you saying, bro?
I thought it was a straight.
Kamaru does have that problem. Hold on, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off. Kamaru does have that problem. And the right person is going to make him pay for that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. The whole swing, and then your defense being to duck your head, drop your head. Somebody's going to catch him with a knee. Somebody's going to be powerful enough to catch him.
I really thought Colby was going to make that read.
Bro,
I thought
Colby was making that read. He
was making that read too late. He was making that read too late.
He had the power for it, bro.
Yeah, he didn't have the power because he was catching him.
Yeah, he was fucking the Usman up, bro. He just ain't had the power for it. Put like Colby's game plan behind Michael Chandler's strength, and we might be talking about a new welterweight champion right now. Possibly.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
because Colby was, I think the problem. Well, no, we'll talk about that fight when we talk about that fight. But like for Chandler Gaethje, bro, that fight was just fire, and they were making adjustments. But the problem is, they're both just savages. So you can really only adjust but so much when a guy wants to be in your face trying to take your head off. And if the other guy also wants to be in your face trying to take your head off, what's your game plan going to really change to if you know a dude's in a phone booth with you the whole time?
It was literally fighting at that point.
Yeah, they were both on one leg with half a chin left.
Yeah.
So like, mobility's out the window. You just got a bomb on, dude. And then who has the biggest heart? That was crazy.
I just think unanimous was a big take. But like I said, the judges was either this or that. It seemed like that's where they were at last night.
Wait, that was unanimous?
But yeah, Justin Gaethje. But I think Michael Chandler got that takedown, which I think that takedown plus activity for the last, because he stopped just being mobile. I don't know if it was like the last minute or minute and a half, but it was a long fucking time where they were like, all right, maybe in the last 20 seconds he's gonna take off, and then that's when he just pulled up with like a little leg kick and just on his bicycle, get something done. But bro, no, I think he tried something else. I think it was like
he did that, like that spinning switch kick or some shit like that.
It was something.
I know what you was talking about. Yeah.
But but like, if anything, it would have been like that squeaky noise. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, that's what it remind me of, that little squeaky noise. But either way, fight of the year though. Fight of the year, like for fight of the year for first round, fight of the year, round of the year for second round, round of the year for third round. Okay, so for all 2 rounds, bruh, it felt like the fight was going on forever, bruh. It was like I was in a Twilight Zone, or the fight taking a super long time and a super short time, because 3 rounds, 15 minutes, that felt like a 5-round fight to me, because it was just so
15 minutes. It was crazy.
Much shit going on.
Yes, there was none of that. Like when 2 dudes step back and they try to gauge each other and like figure out what they're about to do next. No, the whole time they're just like,
That's how they figured that out. by actually going and throwing punches at each other and just getting touched up. They both got touched up. Michael Chandler looked like a different person. Justin Gaethje both of their legs was demolished.
Bro.
But at the same time, Justin Gaethje's boxing. Trevor Whitman was the GOAT that night.
Bro, can somebody needs to give that man his flowers. I don't think they understand. Like 3 for 3 at on the main card in Madison Square Garden, with 2 of them being title fights and 1 of them being a title eliminator. That's crazy. Imagine all the game planning you got to do.
Shout out to Trevor Whitman. Let's type it up for Trevor Whitman right now. Trevor Whitman, shout out to you. Get your flowers right now, bro. You deserve that. You deserve that. You the GOAT for real. And he in Colorado too. So yeah. So one day we probably chop it up. One day I might just pull up at the gym, just come up in there and somebody tell me get out. I might just pull up at the gym. Just hey, anybody know where Trevor Whitman is? Wait, why?
Right. That's the question right there. That's the question.
Why? All right. So Shane Burgos, Billy Q, Shane Burgos.
Billy Q is tough.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That what draws my attention to this is like Billy Q is just tough. Shane Burgos put it on him. Billy Q tried to make it a dirty fight by getting close into the clinch and with elbows and shit like that. But Shane Burgos kind of stayed away and kept him at bay as much as he could and try to keep it as technical as possible.
Billy Q feels like Dominic Cruz minus all the extra movement, if that makes sense. Like his whole thing is just like keep winging punches, don't necessarily put you out, but just put on a pace that makes everything miserable. But I think because he doesn't have that movement that Cruz has, people aren't missing when they fight him like they would when they fight Cruz. You know what I mean? Because it's not because they got a similar build. He doesn't have super long arms, but he's a fairly lanky guy, great gas tank, super tough, right? But I think like if you got a build like that, you got to put volume on people because you're not going to put them away. But you can't afford to get hit if you're fighting somebody who can put you away. You know what I mean? So like I can't talk down on his performance because it was a hell of a performance. He fought amazing. Just Burgos put it on him better. But I feel like if I was his coach or anything, I'd be like, all right, let's work on getting you hit less. Because like that was his problem.
So working on that Dominic Cruz movement.
Now I wouldn't even necessarily do that movement because bro, everybody can't move like that. Like Cruz can't even move like that anymore.
Yeah, I think Cruz is he's a super intelligent guy and I feel like he had to come up with something to make him do exactly that, not get hit.
Bro, Willie Pep.
I think
he stole his movement from a really old boxer called Willie Pep. And a lot of people don't necessarily pay attention to that, but it's like old school defense first, grapple with your punches. It's a lot of shifts. So people look at him funny because his feet are always doing this, but he's always bouncing 45 degrees on either side of you, right?
Yeah.
And then what that does is that forces you to have to kind of change where you're going. So if it's in he'll square up his feet so he can move laterally. Actually, who the fuck else was doing that? When we get to that fight, we'll get to that fight, but somebody else was using that same type of strategy where instead of standing with their feet like this, like a boxer would, they stand with their feet like this so they can always move around you.
Was it Rose?
No, it wasn't Zane. It was
Waylay.
It
was Rose?
It was Waylay.
Waylay was doing that.
Waylay. She was here,
exactly.
And I told you that, bro. I told you she wasn't gonna be able to stand in front of Rose because that power. She knew that power was there, bro. So, like he said, she was doing a lot of this until like the 3rd or 4th round, and she stood still because she got tired. Or them leg kicks, because Rose was fucking her up with some leg kicks too. So,
exactly, yeah,
good call for sure.
And what you're saying right there is that's why I wouldn't suggest it because this dude's at 45. I don't know if he can move like that. You know what I mean? Like. You moving laterally the whole time, and that's a problem. He doesn't seem to have a ton of power. And Burgos does have a ton of power. So it's like, I mean, he seems to just be one of those dudes who are killers. Like he just wants to be in your face, beating the shit out of you.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just not his personality to move laterally like that the whole time. So if he can figure out how to not get hit as much, I think he'll be that dude. But until then, I don't know.
You think this wasn't supposed to be a fight for him? You think that it was somebody?
No, bro! I'll never sleep on Shane Burgos. That dude's a dog. Period.
You know, what I'm saying is, do you think Billy Q got served a fight that was kind of like just out of his level?
No, I wouldn't say that either, bro. Because I do think Shane is a better fighter right now, but I think Billy Q, if Billy Q if he can find a way to sit down on his punches and add a little bit more power, and he can find a way to not get hit as much, then I think he's right up there with Shane Burgos. That, and I don't think he's taking the same damage that Shane Burgos is taking. You know, because Burgos goes into wars. Like every fight I've seen him in has been a war. In his last fight, he got stopped. You know what I mean? So like that damage accumulates. So like I think Billy had a chance coming into this one. He just would have had to change his game plan a little bit.
I think Burgos was more technical in this, for not getting hit as much. But I think it was a level difference. So I think if he had somebody on his level, he would probably get touched up a lot more. So, but at the same time, to me, it gave off the illusion as if his boxing is better. So hopefully that was the case. Because I don't know if I'm able to draw the difference of understanding if his boxing was better or if the fighter was like, because who did he fight? Who was the last person he fought?
You're talking about Shane Burgos?
Yeah.
I think the last person he fought was the Brazilian dude that's been spin kicking people's heads into the stands, Edson Barbosa.
Barbosa?
Yeah, I think Shane Burgos' last fight was with Barbosa, and that's when he got hit with that weird stoppage where he got KO'd, looked at Buddy, and then his body shut down.
Oh yeah, and he fell off to the side. That wasn't. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So he pretty much got somebody who I would say I consider somewhat on his level, but at the same time, it was. That's why it seemed like his boxing was not as superior as it was in his most recent fight.
Yeah, I mean, he was fighting Edson Barbosa, bro.
But if I'd have said it, it would have been a problem.
What you mean? What you mean?
It would have been a problem.
What you mean he was fighting Edson? I know, because I know what that means. I know what that comes with.
Bruh, stop putting these dudes in the ring with these dinosaurs, bro. It only worked for Glover, and that's it.
No, Edson Barbosa got it done this year in May. But I do remember that shit. That shit was weird. That was a weird knockout.
That was a very weird knockout.
But you ever seen somebody get knocked out like that? Like just in the
No, bro. I've never seen somebody get no, not all the way. I've seen people get wobbly, but I never seen somebody get hit, not acknowledge that they got hit, and then have their body tell them it doesn't matter if they acknowledge they got hit. I never seen that in my life, which is crazy because I watch a lot of fights.
Man, and speaking of knockouts, man, this Frankie Edgar, Marlon Vera, we already touched on it a little bit, but shout out to Marlon Vera, got the W.
Yeah, shout out to Cheeto. Shout out to Frankie. Frankie, please, like, we love you, bro. Just be the legend that everybody looks up to, and
hang the jersey up,
bro. Like, bro, that shit sucks. Like, imagine just watching somebody, because like, no joke, like if you're a wrestler from Jersey and you grew up and we grew up, like he was just the dude. Like he was just whipping people's asses, just like, yo, like he's a smaller dude, Jersey guy. And he was all technique. It's not like he's just starching people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he was just hard technique. Dude gets his nose broken, comes back, wins a fight. Next fight, gets his nose broken, wins a fight. Out cardio somebody, wins a fight. Gets beat the fuck up, comes back, wins a fight. And it's just like, yo, like just the mental toughness and the wrestling and the gas tank on this guy. But you can't count on your body to carry. You know what I mean? Like, because obviously his mind's still there. Like, obviously his heart's still there. He's in crazy shape. He's keeping up that type of pace, but it's just like CTE is real, bro. Like that shit is real. Yeah. So you gotta show, like, I'm not gonna put his name out there, but like when I was in Thailand, there was a fighter that came by, like legendary dude. And I'd have to remind him what days wrestling practice was every week. Like he'd show up to the practice and be like, all right, when's the next one? And I'd be like, the same time as last week. And he'd be like, all right, bet. And it was the same thing every time. It's just like, bro, like you must live in a fog. Like that shit is crazy. I would never want that for Frankie, where he's just like living and kind of like from one moment to the next, like in and out. Like that's not okay. Like he's too dope for that to me. Like I would like for, like, say I had a kid and they were into wrestling, I would like for that kid to go to a seminar and Frankie Edgar's teaching the seminar. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yo, that's the dude right there. Like, he's that guy. Like,
yep,
that's the role model. That's what I want for him.
Yeah, then your kid quickly go look up on Google and be like, didn't he just get knocked out from Sanhagen and Marlon Bell? And then, like,
that's why I'm gonna block his YouTube.
That's
Crazy.
but yeah, I understand that, bro. Like, it's always a beautiful thing where we can kind of foresee a good place for a fighter to retire and kind of like, hey, this would be a good thing for you, but they got to see it for themselves, though.
Yeah, bro, that's the hard part.
That'd be the hardest part. But like, of course, like if Frankie Edgar opened up a wrestling gym or has like wrestling camps or something like that, like, of course, I would want my kid to go to it for sure. I think that like he has his lanes, he has his way outs, he has his routes where he can go and not have to fight anymore. Because I understand, like, it's probably dudes that love to fight, but at the same time, like, it's pros and cons that say I'm good. Like, like just enough to be like, nah, I'm good. And I think that his cons are maybe adding up to where he should be like, I'm good. And
I hope so. Because that dude could do anything, bro. Like find me a fight fan that doesn't respect him. Like, yeah, like he has nothing left to fight for besides, I think he's just like a fighter and that's what he likes to do. That and like low key, and no one talks about this, but like it's like high key addictive. Like winning a fight, getting your hand raised, and then just being like, I'm that dude. That shit, like that's hard to beat, bro. Like that's really hard to beat. And I feel like it's easy to get stuck in that. Like I know dudes that they're like 35-ish, and they're still like taking fights where they can take fights just because they were never able to like kick the habit of winning a fight. And they'll take 2 or 3 losses just for that one win.
Get that W.
Yeah. And I feel like people probably need to talk about that. Cause like that ain't it, bro. Like stepping away is hard for a reason, but you should do that shit. Like people like you. Like you're good.
But I feel like, but that you could put stepping away from anything, you know, but at the same time, it seems like this is like so much more of a drug. Because it's like you're just throwing your body into physical harm's way. Like some people, they don't retire at the post office and I'm gonna keep working here, and they start fucking up the mail. All right, okay. But no, you ain't fucking your body up. You know what I'm saying? You're not fucking your mind, your brain up. Like, so some people might keep going to work, hurt their back. Okay, yeah, you work, hurt your back. No, these people are trying to kill other people or trying to bring them to a point close to death.
He's trying to make you leave in a stretcher, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's why I can imagine like you get your post office worker and their addiction for staying at their job, and you get a fighter for their addiction of winning and wanting to keep winning at any age and keep training.
Bro, it's weird. Like you say like you had a fight next month and you want to fight. I guarantee you that'll be one of the best nights of your life. Like if you're the type of person that ever wants to be recognized for like the shit you do, it's dope for someone to be like my bad. I'll scrap all that. Winning over, for me, it was winning over people that didn't want me to win. Like for me, that was a dope shit. Like especially like being a black dude. I'm never the hometown kid ever. Like I was fighting in the Midwest, and then I was fighting out in Thailand. So like off rip, a lot of people just didn't want me to win most of the time. But the dopest shit was I'd win, I'd get a couple of cheers, and then afterwards people would be like, yo, like I didn't actually like I was kind of rooting for the other guy, but like you put it on him and I gotta respect you. And it's just like anybody who's ever done something really hard and they just wanted like hey, we see you. Like it's like that. And I feel like for a lot of people, because a lot of fighters don't really come from a lot, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like that little moment where people are just like, hey, I see you. Like I feel like that's dope. And like maybe I'm saying too much, but like that, I feel like that's what it is for a lot of people.
Nah, it's big, bro.
That's real. That's real.
Because sometimes that just seeds into like the things that people didn't get when they was a kid.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. Speaking of a little kid, Rose looks like a little kid.
Don't play her like that.
To this day.
But
to this day, she got a cute little face. It's like she like a little kid, like she do. She do.
You see the double standards I got to deal with on this show?
What double standards?
If it was me, that wouldn't have made it.
Why that wouldn't have made it, bro? You say worse shit than that. You say way worse shit than that. You got us blocked by Uriah Hall.
I did.
Yeah, you got. That's you. That's you. Because I can say what I say, and then when I say it, it don't seem as bad. But once you start piggybacking, that's when the shit go downhill fast.
I'll take it.
You really just be just pile it on. So Rose, shout out to the champ once again, and still Rose surprised me with this one. She fought like a champion in this one.
Yeah.
When it comes to strategically and just doing what you got to do, not just absorbing damage unnecessarily. Like she's like, all right, I got it. So now we're gonna go in here with a game plan. She went in there, did what she had to do on the feet for the first couple rounds. Then she's like, hey, we're gonna take it to the ground and we're gonna lay here to the fight's over.
Yep, I can tell you what she clinched it too. What Rob is saying, where Weili either got tired or her legs are too banged up and she stopped moving laterally. If you go back and watch it, it was a right hand into a takedown.
And it was beautiful. The entry was beautiful.
Yeah.
Bro.
She kept catching her with the right hand because she wasn't moving out from in front of her. So she realized if I throw this right hand and just bring the right leg behind it, I can trip her. And that's what that takedown was.
That was a beautiful takedown.
Yeah, that was gorgeous.
that was like a beautiful takedown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and the beauty of it was how she transitioned it from the punch to the takedown, and or just faded. Just it was like a mirage of punch. That was the actual takedown. It was like
one big movement.
Like, ooh, this is a punch, bitches takedown. Like, it's like that's how it was. That's how I felt. I was like, oh my goodness. I feel like she tricked me. I was like, I thought you were still punching, but Zhang Weili, I know this. If she would have lost the belt off this fight, then she probably would have been cool and be like, all right, I'll go chill. But I understand how she wanted that rematch back.
Oh yeah. She got caught the first time, bro.
Got caught.
Anybody can get caught. And that's what makes MMA so crazy, bro. You can be the nicest, unless you're John Jones, you can be the nicest dude alive and you will get caught. John Jones is I say this as a fan of John Jones, as a fighter. John Jones will always lose to John Jones. John Jones is undefeated against everybody but John Jones. And that shit sucks. That shit sucks.
John Jones low-key sloppy as shit in the ring, but we're not gonna talk about that.
That is fact. No.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Hey, let's get through that, bro. Like, hold on, we got one more. And you see how you try to take us off course? We had one more to go, and then that's when we about to get into this John Jones talk that I really want to fucking talk about right now. Hold on, just let's wait a second. Hold on. Rose.
Shout out to Rose.
Shout out to the champ.
Of all fights, this was a split decision. That was what confused me about the referees. Like, of all the fights we had tonight, this was your split decision.
Because
that was a little weird.
No, Zhang. I think she probably won
one round.
No, come on, bro.
I give her two.
She won two and got laid on for the other part.
She didn't get laid on though.
No, yeah, she got laid on, bruh. She was laying on her for a minute. When
Zhang took her down, Rose was staying alive with the elbows and the up kicks. And then the fight changed, and when Rose got that takedown, that's when Rose started going on top. She was staying just busy enough. She wasn't like super.
And she was staying alive with the up kicks and with the knees.
On her,
she was staying alive with the knee. She was staying alive with the elbows and the up kicks as well. So at the same time, the dominance came in where she was just able to lay on her.
I didn't
control her.
I
saw control, and I saw movement and action within that control, but I didn't see her laying down. Like
she was doing this thing where I didn't see before, and it's kind of like she was posting up, like repeatedly. Like she would get up, and she would find a different entryway. And kind of like flying with the punch, like to the ground, like punches to the ground. Like
if you watch Lyoto Machida's old fights, there was a shifting punch that he would throw. It was a right straight, and then he would just hit bump people into a takedown. That shit works. It's about the angle you hit him from. If you catch somebody slipping, you caught somebody slipping.
I'm talking about Zhang Weili being on her back.
That I'm pretty sure it's
being on her back. And Rose posting up, breaking her guard, getting off of her, finding moving around her guard, finding an angle, and coming in with a punch to her face that's virtually like already on the mat.
Rampage Jackson.
But repeatedly though, like to get up and then repeatedly back up, repeatedly, like that's
bro,
what.
If you see something with their technique that lets you do it, bro, then you see something with their technique that lets you do it. Like, so, but like if you see something like, say how a person has their guard up, because you're a jiu-jitsu guy. If you see the positioning of somebody's feet is a certain way, and you know you can manipulate that, then you could just keep abusing it until they figure it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if Weili wasn't able to figure out what was letting that happen to her, then of course you're just going to keep hitting her with the same thing until she gets it together. So I'm pretty sure it was more so something like that than it was like a flexibility or just like a physiological thing. That's my perspective on it.
Well, the flexibility part of it is why I think Zhang Weili would be more comfortable of continuously laying on the ground. And because it was a few times where it looked like she was fishing for a triangle. And because she kept doing what she was doing. So I guess that's why she was trying to lay there. And that's why I spoke to the flexibility, because like, yeah, guys do a lot of submissions, triangles, you know, you got T-City, all that. But at the same time, women are very flexible, and we've seen a lot of different submissions. I feel like women have better submissions because of the flexibility aspect.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Aniba. But also, bro, I think what we're forgetting is that the reason she might have got that off is because both of them were using up kicks from the back. So like, if you're talking about before I say something stupid, are you talking about her like from top getting through her guard and getting a strike in?
Yeah,
I think some of that might have been because they were looking for up kicks instead of just going straight for guard or getting straight back to the feet. So like, if your feet are just flying, it's just a matter of catching a foot or moving it out the way as it gets to you. That might have been it.
Which is what you saw Rose doing a lot of. She was just standing there waiting for it. And then she'll catch a foot and then boom, drop in with the elbow.
Yeah.
Before she tries to pull guard. Before
Zhang pulls guard. Got you.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. But shout out to the champ. Either way, she doubled it back. So it ain't too much talk about Zhang right now. But
John's still a beast, bro.
Who y'all see?
She's still a beast. I think she's number 2 in the division. Like easy number 2.
Animal though, yeah. She still is an animal. You gotta respect that. Like, if it wasn't Rose or if it's not Bay, then it's gotta be her. You know what I'm saying?
And just let you know, for him, Bay is Amanda Nunes. If you, because he just says it like Amanda Nunes, so he just constantly call her Bay.
Bay.
So do you see her running it back with Andrade?
No thanks.
Jessica Andrade.
No thanks.
That's a trilogy.
I'd rather see her go get Shevchenko before she did Andrade, or give Mariana Rodriguez her chance,
or Esparza. I think Esparza is supposed to be next.
I think Esparza has no chance.
Thank you.
You don't think so?
Oh, bro. No.
You think what you think that is just a size and skill difference?
I think there's a big skill difference. And maybe it's my fault. Maybe I'm biased. Like, I don't believe in her ability outside of her wrestling. Her wrestling is great. Her control is fantastic. I think Rose is just better literally everywhere else, like across the board. Like it could be, I don't care. Like it could be tic-tac-toe. I think Rose is better. Like I just don't, I don't see it, bro. Like it's not a fair matchup. Has her game plan ever changed in any of her fights ever?
She's a wrestler.
Not that I know of.
She's a wrestler. So
you know who else is a wrestler, bro? Colby Usman,
Kamaru,
John Jones.
Kamaru, they're all wrestlers for real.
Yeah, but they're not wrestling Esparza. I'm talking about Esparza. She can wrestling is like it seems like it's like the base of MMA. Like
it's a base that she never left.
Yes, it's a base, but at the same time, Khabib hasn't left that. He's upgraded. Wait. He upgraded his striking.
I keep telling you.
His striking. No, don't tell me. He upgraded his striking. So yeah. But at the same time, Khabib was once he got up there, he started getting touched a little bit.
But you can't take Khabib as a baseline, bro. That's generational talent. That's different. That's like using LeBron or Kobe as a baseline for all scores.
I'm just saying that wrestling. I'm saying wrestling is the foundation. If you're good at wrestling, you will win you will essentially win once you touch the ground. So once you touch the ground, once you touch the mat.
Here's my question: why isn't she the champion then?
Because she got caught getting to the ground.
So don't you think that evolution of a striking game and a standing game will help you avoid getting caught before you get to the ground? Wrestling is cool, but not everybody can enter like Khabib can.
Yeah, but I know that time and training and all those things can help progress somebody to get to the level that they need to. And if she's already at the level where we having this conversation, so what's the difference from her upgrading her striking? So I wouldn't take her out the conversation.
I'm going to say it like this. Everybody can't be a striker. I got a friend, like I was telling you, my boy, who is an absolutely brilliant grappler. He will not do MMA because he wants no piece of the strike. I think Carla Esparza is a person who is talented enough at wrestling that her wrestling carries her through MMA, but there's a ceiling because, I mean, her wrestling control, it's not like she's like Khabib where she's just putting everybody out or getting a sub. She's not beating you up until you give her a choke. She's beating you up until you get up, and then you might beat her up before she gets you back down. You know what I mean? So like her wrestling, her takedowns are dominant. Her control can be dominant, but she isn't doing enough with it to, in my mind, be the champ. And then on the feet, she's usually at a disadvantage. So how is she supposed to beat Rose? That's all I'm saying. I don't think she's not going to outstrike Rose. I don't think she's going to sub Rose. I don't think she's going to hold Rose down. So like how if Rose gets a takedown, she's not going to sub Rose off her back.
So you got to think about it. And if she gets into it with Rose, if she thinks
that's a possibility, though, that's a better possibility.
With a sub from her back.
From what you can see.
Wait, hold up. Did you just say that she's going to sub?
From as reckless as she was with Zhang, while Zhang was on her back, like there were so many opportunities for a triangle that Rose was given Zhang that I think Esparza would take advantage of that.
Monty, here's the thing. Rose doesn't have to take Carla Esparza down.
But don't you think it will get there? No. Being that Esparza's a wrestler, you think that her takedown defense is that good?
No, bro.
I'm not saying that's the case. No. Don't I don't know a wrestler that wants to be on their back. Not
exactly. So hear me out. So
the wrestlers that do jujitsu.
So Carla is not going to beat her on the feet, right? I think we all know this, right? Carla's going to have a hard time getting her to the ground. Carla always wants to be on top on the ground. If Rose is winning on the feet, there's no reason for her to go for a takedown, period, dot. So her game becomes stop Carla from taking her down and get back up when Carla takes her down. And I don't see Carla holding Rose down for 5 rounds. So I can't see it, bro. I can't see it.
I don't know. I think you discrediting Esparza's striking tremendously.
I think you're discrediting Rose's striking tremendously if you think they should be spoken of in the same sentence.
Yeah, I think you're giving way too much credit to Esparza. You're giving her a lot of credit.
I think that y'all. I think that y'all just seen the recent form of Rose, so that's why y'all feel that way.
No, but I've been told you about Rose. We could run the tape back. I told you about Rose. You just became a believer.
No, okay. You
my man said he got receipts.
Yeah, he do. But you have been on the Thug Rose train, and I've been on the Zhang train, and I understand that Zhang took her 2 L's. But I'm talking about Esparza. I'm saying that it will be a good matchup. I'm not saying that it will create a W for Esparza. I'm just saying that it will be a good matchup, more so than Andrade.
Like stylistically,
I think Zhang Wei Li smokes Esparza.
I do too.
I'm sorry.
I mean, honestly, I feel like after
that
Jean and then Mariana Rodriguez, because nobody's talking about her, but she's a dog on a whole nother level.
Yes.
The talent gap is so wide in that women's division that it's those 3. It's a battle between those 3 for the belt, and it's going to be like that for a long time unless one of them leaves or one of these other ladies decides to step up and really step their game up.
Where is Joanna right now?
In the cut.
I thought she was talking about retiring or something like that, or not fighting or not extending her contract, or it was something going on with Joanna. But
she need to. She ain't beating Bay. She not beating Rose. She not beating Shevchenko. Next.
And that must fucking suck. Like to already know, like this, these are the people you need to beat.
You're not doing it.
And figure it out. Go to the gym, figure it out.
Yeah, that's tough, bro.
But at the same
time,
what?
Joanna's done enough, though, in my opinion. Like, maybe she can come back and get it, but if she can't, what are you gonna do? And like, she was the champ. She put Poland on the map as far as MMA. Yo, you know who I feel bad for? I definitely missed this episode, but I'm such an asshole. I already forgot his name. The dude Glover beat.
Jan,
Jan Blachowicz. Bro, like, he got the Chris Weidman treatment where like he was the man for a day. Man. And then everybody just let him go.
Bruh. And he was the champ for a while too. And he did some great things as the champ. Like, you know, especially like beating Izzy is like a big accolade. Like that's it, despite anything, whatever you want to say.
Yeah,
like
being above his weight class or not. Like,
yeah. But at the same time, he had to survive for that one on some real shit. But yeah, so we still ain't talk about the motherfucking main event. Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington. Once again, shout out to the champ. And still, shout out to Trevor Whitman, the fighter whisperer.
Clearly.
Like, gotta be like 3 in a row. Like, Colby Covington, like, as much as like he say, like as much as people want to hate him and all that shit, like as much as like we over here know that he racist and we don't like him like that, we know that he's a great fighter and we know that he's a talented fighter. He was giving Kamaru a lot of problems, more problems than I've seen Kamaru in. I think he put Kamaru in more problems than the first fight.
I would say yeah.
Really? Both of you.
Wait, hear me out. Here's what I say.
Okay.
Here's what I say this, right? So first fight, actually, first thing I need to say about Kamaru that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Yeah, you notice this, like his defensive habits aren't up there with his offensive habits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like maybe just because he's usually a beast, like he usually has the better cardio, usually he's the stronger guy. I wouldn't say he's always the faster guy, but he's just usually the dominant dude. Mm-hmm. So it seems like it plays out with him not adjusting his defense super well. If that makes sense. Like he defends the way he defends, and then he figures out a different way to hit you so he can break you. You know what I mean? So Colby's game plan didn't really have to change too much because besides, honestly, I'd say that the biggest improvement for Usman was learning to throw better short hooks this fight. Like his last fights, his hooks were all just big winging, like whatever punches. He caught Colby super clean with some nice counter left hooks this time, right? Sure. But he kept getting caught clean with the same, get your head off the center line, catch for the uppercut, get your head off the center line, catch for something over the jab, because Usman, he throws straight punches most of the time. He's longer than most people, crazy ass range, big 1, big 2 out of both stances. He's been putting people away, right? Colby saw that last fight, right? He did the same thing this fight. But I think the problem is Usman has so much power that he couldn't really turn that on until round 4 or 5 without getting his lights put out. You know what I mean? So he didn't get his jaw broke this time. He wobbled Usman, or at least I think he wobbled Usman.
A few times.
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah.
So in the last fight, what I remember was he was outpointing Usman, but he didn't have him in any real trouble. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like this fight, he was actually able to do some real damage. So that's why I say he gave him more trouble.
Yeah. I say he gave him more trouble because I feel like Usman definitely elevated his boxing a bit, but Colby Covington,
for sure.
Colby Covington made all of the adjustments. Like he made all the adjustments when it comes to the leg kicks, but Usman made the adjustment for that one. The high kicks right after the combo, so he might throw a 1-2 and then immediately like the high kick right after that. He was showing that in the first fight a few times, but in this fight he was actually just putting it out there just to make him worry. His last fight, he kept his cardio together. Like when I say he kept his cardio together, I'm talking about like normally he keeps a high pace and a super high pace. He was pretty much ramping up the pace some, bringing it down, ramping up the pace, bringing it down to the point where Kamaru couldn't really get the best shots off on him, because as you can see, it was a lot of moments where they were standing around just kind of like trying to get those angles right. And it's because Colby Covington wasn't giving him all the looks that he gave him in the last fight. So, and Colby Covington got in his groove in the fourth, which made me very nervous because he started to add more into those combinations just to touch Kamaru. So that's what made me feel like, all right, fifth round is about to be a motherfucking problem because we thought he was out in what, the third? No, we thought he was out in the second. And in the third, that's when Colby started to gain that momentum. In the fourth, that's when I don't know if Colby probably took the fourth or the third, but I think it might have been the fourth.
No, I think he took the fourth, bro. Like I think it was, for the most part, it was Usman outpointing him first three clean, and then Colby started to take over in 4 and 5. Yeah, and that was killing me, bro. Like I don't know if you noticed it, but Colby whiffed on a few big uppercuts. Like his whole body almost went spinning, like Street Fighter style. Like if he was faster or if he could have timed those better, those might have been a problem, bro. Because he was putting his whole heart and soul into those uppercuts, man. And if Usman would have ducked into one of those, it would have been a wrap. So he was seeing something. And I think it was just, he was starting to figure Usman out, just he was figuring him out a little bit too late.
Yes.
So like that's how I'm seeing it. But shout out to Usman for holding on. And
exactly.
And you know who shouldn't get a shout out? Those people that let Usman keep his 100% takedown defense, because that was a takedown, bro.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Coming from a wrestler, like that's what I'm saying. Like me, I ain't no wrestling base. I got three proud days of wrestling conditioning. After that, I was like, fuck that, bro. I don't got all the information on wrestling. He tell you what if it's around the back, if you could
what they said was
around the back and go to the knees.
They said that he didn't have enough control time.
Cap.
So when he took him down, the fact that Usman popped right back up and then broke the grip, the statisticians were saying that the grip, the position wasn't held long enough to count as a takedown. When I wrestled, because I wrestled for a year in high school, when I wrestled, if the knees hit the ground, that's a takedown. That's a takedown. 2 knees hit the ground, that's a takedown.
2 points.
Yeah, that's a takedown, bro.
Okay, well, if the UFC is not calling it a takedown and the New York Commission is not calling it a takedown, then guess what? 100%.
Hey, you know what? That would have made sense. They did that in Black History Month, but they're a little early.
We're a little early for that.
But yeah. It definitely, I know that's definitely going to be an accolade for Colby Covington.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But for me, here go my hot take for the day. For me, it was a cakewalk for Usman. I don't give a fuck what he says in the the post-fight interview. It was a cakewalk for him. Of course, you're going to face adversity, but I think where Colby Covington went wrong is the fact that he didn't use his cardio to his advantage. It was no way that the first 3 rounds, Usman should have been able to, like y'all said, lead the point and predict the pace. You know what I'm saying? What DC was saying was right. You're going to have to make it a nasty fight. You're going to have to scramble in there. You trying to lay back, be cute, find your shots. You're going to lose 10 out of 10 to Usman, probably 11 out of 10. But like you said, in the 4th round, when he started to push the pace a little bit more, he started, like, you're going to have to put yourself in harm's way in order to get the belt. There was no clean way of going about beating Usman last night. If you was going to win, you was going to walk out of there with a broken face. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I think Colby didn't want that. I think Colby
you think he stayed safe?
Let me wait till the 4th or 5th round when some of that power is diluted a little bit. And then now let me try to go ahead and stick my head in the lion's cave just to see if I can make it in and out. Which what he should have been doing was what Rose did. The whole swing into the takedown, because that's the only way you're going to take Usman down for real. I felt like you didn't really utilize that game plan. Like, your cardio should have been your number 1 resource. You should be running circles around Usman. Let's put that muscle to test. You know what I'm saying? When you got a lot of muscle and you moving like that, that shit starts to get heavy after a while. Okay.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
You think Colby could have taken it if he would have started that game plan in the 3rd?
I don't think he could.
Honestly, no. Like I said, I don't think there was any way for Colby to win this fight, but his best chance was to push that pace a little bit earlier than he did. And how many what was he, 0 for 7 takedown attempts? Over 8, something like that. I think it was like 0 for 8, 0 for 7, something like that. But you should have been 0 for 15, 0 for 20, because your cardio is there. That's how you're gonna beat Usman.
But if the entry's not there, if this dude is constantly pressing
but the entries were there. Well, they weren't because he was taking it from so far. Like you went from standing at a solid base to trying to shoot on Kamaru Usman. It's not gonna work, bro. A wrestler can see that coming from a mile away. That's why I said you should have took the Rose approach, mixed it up, got a little bit dirty, threw a hook into a takedown, level change. Like you should have been doing a lot more activity and using your cardio to your advantage rather than let me play this, wait it out, and see it game with Usman. You're gonna lose every time. You're gonna lose that fight every single time.
I think he used the clinch to his. I think he used the clinch more to his advantage, and I think that helped Colby more. But at the same time, it ain't do enough.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I did expect more wrestling from Colby, but at the same time, Kamaru was just like not letting that shit happen at all. Like I think it was one time where Kamaru sprawled, and I think his head was like all the way underneath.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
It was a perfect sprawl.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I don't know what's happening. I think he might need to switch his game plan up. But
well, see, that was my thing, bro. Hold on, I'm looking at the numbers now. 11 takedown attempts is just not enough for me. And a fight of this magnitude to where you're gonna have to really do something different, you should have been north of 17, 18 takedowns, especially if we're talking Colby Covington's cardio.
Well, if that was the actual game plan, because on the feet, I feel like he was doing his thing on the feet. Like Colby Covington was doing his thing on the feet. But like you said, mixing the takedowns into the actual strikes more or better. Like, I don't know. I think that's like a skill. I think that's like being able to feint. Like some guys, I've noticed like feinting is just not a thing. Like, but we grow up feinting. Like we grow up like somebody walk past it. Like we grow up doing that stuff, so our feints are actually look like feints. Like, yeah. But I don't know. I think that that's why it's maybe harder for him to mix it in there. It's kind of like dancing. Like, I think that's what it reminds me of. That's bruh, feints, being able to like do crossovers and stuff like that. All that is a different type of rhythm that your body has to have to be able to make it look like the illusion that it does.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that I don't know if Colby Covington's body mechanics are I don't know. I don't
blame his body mechanics because TJ Dillashaw feints better than most people. So I'm gonna just let that one sit there. However people want to look at that. I'm pretty sure Dillashaw didn't grow up listening to salsa. He didn't grow up listening to Raekwon. Like,
go ahead. Go ahead.
So it can be done. It can be done. I'm gonna leave it there.
But yeah, once again, shout out to the champ. And bruh, like for this episode, we're just gonna do the no cap recap. This is the longest motherfucking no cap
ever
in our motherfucking life. But at the same time, we had the guest in here. We got Jersey in the building. We got Trevor McKenzie.
My man, the killer in the cut. Never mind.
And the thing about it, he always been like that, bro. He always been like that. Like we used to be in Japan, like, and when those club nights, you know, it'd be somebody, you know, always somebody drunk and always trying some stuff. Like one time, dude bumped into him and he's like, "Hey, you know, you really shouldn't disrespect people you don't know." And I was just thinking, like, this dude had no fucking idea.
That's a serial
issue that this motherfucker is about to. Another story. Our homie, he another drunk night. Homie getting mad at Jersey. I don't even know if he was mad at Jersey, but he was coming at Jersey and then putting his hands up, whatever. Jersey give him these hard ass leg kicks, and this is our homie. So Jersey like, bruh, chill, bruh, just chill. Next one, hard leg kick. Foul, bro, chill, foul. And then that's when homie just chilled. We just walked into the club and just had a good night. like, bro, like
I forgot you were there for that,
bro.
I forgot you were there for that,
bro. Like this, that's why, like, I feel safe already. But like when we was in Japan, like, and I was drinking and I was kind of like out of control a little bit, I knew that if it went down, we're good 100%. I believe in my hands. So it's just like, and I already know I got Jersey right here. Like, oh my God. And you know, he gonna try to diffuse it for as long as he can. And then there's shit going down. So it's just like, that's just how it go. I do the same. I try to diffuse it too. I ain't no violent person like that.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been a great show. I appreciate you pulling up on us. I told you this.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
I appreciate your knowledge and your experience, your blood, sweat, and tears that you've poured into the sport. And you know, let's give it up for the guest. Appreciate it, bro. Like I said, this is the RoundHouse RoundTable. Hey, make sure y'all find us on all streaming platforms. Anywhere you want to find us, make sure Instagram, Twitter, even TikTok, shit. RoundHouse RoundTable. Look us up. Hey, and we out of here.
That's why I use the heat as a sword. Cause keep the peace as a boy. They go keys for you. Say please. That's one, please. Don't need. No one, that's two, please. Don't leave. That's 3, 4. If you do.